All right, so number 2 in the top 10 issues for probate in the state of Florida, and this is how much is the probate going to cost? And this question could easily be number 1, very important question, something that we're upfront with people about right from the beginning because it's critically important. Here's the deal. The question about how much probate is going to cost is largely determined by how much are we dealing with. A small estate, $2,500 or so plus fees. Larger estates, they can indeed jump into tens of thousands of dollars. Well, let's talk about why it costs so much money. Well, there's a Florida statute, 733-106, which specifies what is a reasonable fee. And this thing is old, man. This thing's been around forever, hadn't been updated, but it specifically articulates what are those numbers and, in fact, gives a statute that specifies exactly what a reasonable fee is. $1,500 for an estate having a value of $40,000 or less. The problem with 733-6171 is this thing hadn't been updated in decades, and so that's no longer reasonable. And the reality is you as the client are largely in control of how much an estate is going to cost. Here's why. If you come into the office and you got everything in order, you got your creditor statements, you got bank accounts, there's lots of good estate planning that was done on the front end, then this is a relatively easy process. Likewise, if you as the client can respond to the documents quickly, you can help to reduce the costs. In this office, we've done a lot of super cool electronic stuff. Allows you to sign things quickly and automates the process. Allows you to check what specific responsibilities are. But you as the client have to be part of this. We have identified all the hangups, all the problems in probate. And if the client can simply respond to those documents quickly, get us the information we need, we can help you to keep the costs low. But where things get problematic, where things get expensive, is when heirs and beneficiaries are fighting. That's the number one area where costs increase because, we get people in here yelling, we get people disputing a lot of things. Quite frankly, a lot of these things are not even are worth what we're fighting over. The knickknacks, paddywhacks, those things. We do have to be mindful that the client cares about these things, the beneficiary cares about these things, but I try to get people thinking about the costs at the front end and try and understand that their emotions and the things that they're fighting over really aren't about the items. We go into mediation early on. We talk very frankly about costs and do everything we can to help a client reduce down the fees that an attorney is ultimately going to be making. But number 2 issue, how much is probate going to cost?